Welcome to Fun with Annuities with your host, me, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent. Can annuities be fun? Can contractual guarantees be fun? Absolutely they can. Find out the brutal facts about annuities with no sales pitches or high-pressure nonsense. Just the brutal and factual annuity truth, which is all you need to hear. Let's have some fun with annuities, and let's have that fun start right now. Hey, this is Stan the Annuity Man, and welcome to Fun with Annuities. Glad you're here. We're talking about a really good subject today, and one that most people need to address and are at least thinking about. I get a lot of calls on this. It's called creating an income floor. So how do you create a guaranteed, contractually guaranteed income floor? So, what is an income floor? It's that amount that you need to come in every single month to cover not only the bills, just the bare bones essentials, but also to live the life you want to live. You worked hard. You want to make sure that you can, take the trip, see the grandkids, go out to eat, go see the game, whatever. That's the income floor. It's always moving because there's inflation, there's changes and things like that. And most people that are married or have the families, you want to create an income floor that is somewhat of a legacy that can continue for their lives as well. With 10,000 baby boomers retiring every single day, I think it's less about the stock market and growth, even though that's what is sexy to cover from the media standpoint. I don't think people care as much as the media thinks. And if you know anything about the stock market, in my background, I was with Morgan Stanley and Dean Witter and Payne Webber, well, in order, Dean Witter to Morgan Stanley, Payne Webber to UBS, Union Bank of Switzerland, who took over UBS. By the time I left, and that was a while back, because I've been Stan the Annuity Man for a long time, I think 80 to 85% of all trades were non-human, algorithmic, black box, high velocity. In other words, there wasn't some person sitting behind a screen making a decision on whether it's going to be traded. It was a computer-traded event. So because of that, that's the reason you see some of the volatility that swings wildly. And I think the smaller guy, the smaller investor, me and you, do nothing than we just provide liquidity for those monster institutions. I'm not a huge fan of the stock market. I mean, I put my money where my mouth is. My money, all of it, is in either guaranteed income in the future, or it's in fixed rate annuities or those type of things that guarantee principal protection. So I've been there, done that. I'm okay with hitting bunt singles, and that's kind of what I do. I like contractual guarantees, and that's what I sell. So the majority of us that are looking at retirement or are retired, we're looking at income. We need income. So where do you go for that? There's not many places to go, and there's certainly no place to go other than annuities if you want to transfer risk. And annuities are the only product on the planet. This is the unique benefit proposition that I don't understand why annuity companies in the industry don't push. The one benefit proposition that annuities offer that not one single other product on the planet offers is a lifetime income guarantee. In other words, it will pay you for the rest of your life, regardless of how long you live. It's the only product that can do that. It's a risk transfer product. It's a contract. It's not an investment. To me, I think there's value there. Obviously, there's no ROI until you die because, it's going to pay you for life. But, for whatever reason, the industry is hung up on stock market returns and things like that. I get it. People like buying dreams. People like buying those type of things. But I think a lot of people are now looking at their investments and going, you know what? I really don't want to watch the news channels or the financial news channels, and I really don't want to engage. I want to go live my life. I want a guaranteed income floor. So, guaranteed income floor, like I said, is your basic expenses plus whatever you need monthly to live your life on your own terms. And that can include a pension if you're so fortunate. Not many people have, in the private sector, there's not a lot of pensions anymore. A lot of people have what's called defined contribution plans, which are the 401ks and the 403bs and those type of things. That the 401k is really the definition of a defined contribution plan that at some point in time you have to convert into an annuity or into an income stream if you need income. So, pension, Social Security is obviously a part of the income floor. Dividends, if you have stocks that pay dividends, things like that, or bonds that pay interest. that's income. Real estate, if you have real estate that you're renting out, that's income. And then the last part of that income, a floor, are annuities and the transfer risk nature of annuities and how they pay contractually. Now, in previous podcasts, I've gone over specific annuity types, immediate annuities and deferred income annuities and QLACs and things like that. But just as a brief refresher, if you need income right now to start within 30 days up to 13 months, that's an immediate annuity, a single premium immediate annuity. And with all annuities, they're like commodity quotes. You got to shop all carriers. It's like buying a plane ticket. We go into every customized quote not knowing who's going to finish first and not caring. We don't steer people into a specific carrier. So you got income now quotes, which is immediate annuities. Income later quotes, which means you're going to defer anywhere from 13 months out, 5, 10, 15 years, whatever, until the income stream starts. That's deferred income annuities. That could be income riders, and also QLACs, which is a deferred income annuity, qualified longevity annuity contract that can be used inside of an IRA. And again, I've covered that in previous podcasts, and I've written owner's manuals on every single one of these products, of which I encourage you to go to my site, theannuityman.com, and order them. I'll ship them to you for free. We won't bother you. And you can read them. But those are the two income sources, income now or income later. Income now is immediate annuities. Income later is either the deferred income annuities, riders, or QLACs. And it all comes down to two questions when you're buying an annuity. The first question, I keep repeating this, but this is very important. What do you want the money to contractually do? Number one. The keyword is contractual. Go ahead and bold that and underline it. What do you want the money to contractually do? Second is, when do you want those contractual guarantees to start? Underline contractual, bold contractual. Not hypothetical, what it might do. No, you own an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do. Okay? So when you're looking to fill an income gap, you can do it a couple of ways. You can say, hey, we've got X amount in the IRA, and it's a lump sum. How much income will that generate in a customized quote format, either your life, joint life with installment refund, however we decide is best for you based upon how you want the money to work. That's one way to go about it. The other way is, instead of the lump sum, Stan, we need X amount of dollars per month to fill that gap. So, we've added the pension and the Social Security and the dividends and the real estate. Here's our basic expenses, and we need an additional, pick a number, $2,000, $3,000, $1,000 a month. And if we can get that contractually, that will cover and secure that guaranteed income floor. Then we can reverse engineer that quote so that we can tell you exactly the amount of money to the penny that you need to fill that income gap. And I love doing that because a lot of times I see people, they put way too much money into an annuity. This is a way, if you reverse engineer the quote to solve for the guarantee, to solve for the monthly income gap, to fill in that income floor, then you're using as little money as possible contractually to solve for that. I like that. That means you keep your powder dry, you keep your money in other investments, etc. If you still need growth, and most people still do need growth, but that way you can fill the guaranteed income floor amount. Now people say, well, but Stan, what do we do with inflation? And I say this every time people ask me, there's not a product on the planet that addresses inflation perfectly. Now, agents will tell you that they have it, but they do not. You can attach what's called a cost of living adjustment increase, which is a percentage that you choose at the time of application, meaning you say, I want my income stream to increase by 3% every year for the rest of my life. That would be contractual. Sounds great, right? There's a catch. Or you could say, hey, I want it to increase with the consumer price index, similar to like a Social Security calculation, right? Where it increases. Sounds great, right? Well, with Social Security, that's the best inflation annuity on the planet. They just increase that. It's kind of a political football. When you attach a cost of living adjustment rider or a CPIU increase to an annuity payment, the carriers, because they have the big buildings, they don't give anything away and there's no philanthropist there, they're going to lower the payment when compared to the exact same annuity that doesn't have the cost of living adjustment rider or COLA. That doesn't mean it's bad. You just need to know you're not getting a free ride with the increase. If you're interested in that, what I typically do is I run the same quote with and without the increase just so you can see how they price it. The other way to do this from the standpoint of inflation is what I call defer to SPIA, meaning that keep your money in the investments that you manage or someone manages for you until you need income, and then you buy or need to fill a gap for the inflation part, and then you buy an immediate annuity at that time. One of the things that's going on right now in the indexed annuity side, the fixed index world, which in previous podcasts I've told you those were developed in 1995 to compete with CD returns, even though there's some misleading sales pitches with too many agents talking about market upside with no downside. That's not true. They were developed in 1995 to compete with CD returns. So you have to keep that in the back of your head when you hear those too good to be true sales pitches. But one of the things, those people that sell those, they'll just sell just that product, is they'll say, well, when the index increases, it increases your income stream by that amount. Okay, let's not get in the weeds on how all that works, but just to understand, once again, if the annuity company is giving something away, in this case an increase, they're going to do what? They're going to lower the initial payment as opposed to a rider or something that doesn't have that increase. So just put it in the back of your head, when you hear something that sounds really good, too good to be true, there's some fine print, there's some details that you need to understand before you sign on the dotted line and fully trust what that agent is pitching. And typically one of the things I tell everyone all the time, the only protection that you have out there in the hinterlands of the annuity marketing world is when someone pitches you a product that sounds too good to be true, and I mean, it really does, and you look at your wife or spouse and go, wow, that's great. All you can do to protect yourself is write down exactly what that person said, the way you understand it. Write it down in detail. He said, she said that it was going to do this and that it was going to do this, blah, blah, blah. Returns, whatever. Sign it, date it, turn that page around, have the agent or advisor that pitched you that too good to be true product, sign and date it. They're either going to sign it and own it, which at that case, you got them if they were not telling the truth, or that pen's going to weigh 1,000 pounds and you're going to flush out the truth, which then you have to ask yourself, why am I sitting here, right? Well, why wouldn't they lead with the truth instead of just trying to polish it up? So there's a lot of misinformation about indexed annuities addressing inflation. There's no annuities that perfectly address inflation. There's no product that perfectly addresses inflation, period. So the way to do it when you're doing an income floor, a guaranteed income floor, is you either have to buy an immediate annuity at that time to fill in that additional gap, or you can also do what's called laddering. And I do a lot of laddering with either immediate annuities or QLACs or DIAs or riders, meaning that you buy multiple of those products and you have income starting at different start dates. I'll give you an example. Like, for instance, if you said, our income floor, we have the income floor covered, but for a few things in the future, let's buy either a DIA, a rider, or a QLAC if it's inside of an IRA, and let's have income starting, every 3 years, for like 4 or 5 year time period. So let's say it starts at, age, you're 60, and the first income stream starts at 65, the gap filler starts at 65, then 68, then 71, then 74. That's you can either ladder the purchase date. In other words, you can buy the annuities over a 5 year time period, or you could buy them all at one time and have the income stream start dates different, or you can combine them both. You can ladder the income purchase date or ladder the income start date at the same time. It really comes down to the customization of the quote and what you're trying to achieve. Now, when you're doing the income floor, guaranteed income floor, putting that all together, I tell people all the time, let's look at how the structuring of the quote and the choices that you can have. And there's myriads of choices, 10, 15, 20, 30, however many you want. I mean, I could show you a 30 at least, but most people it's around 5 to 10 that are typical. Life only means that you're going to get the highest contractual payout, but when you die, the money goes poof. And most people think that's all there is out there. That's not. You can also do life with a period certain, which is it'll pay for the rest of your life. But if you die within that period certain, in other words, if you have a life in 20 with life guarantee with a 20-year period certain, you die year 10, there's 10 more years of payments to your beneficiaries. Or you could do just a period certain. Hey, my income floor stand, I got a pension turning on in 10 years from now, but I have an income floor gap for those 10 years in between. You can buy a single premium immediate annuity with a 10-year period certain that just fills in that gap. Once again, think customization with all of this. the most popular way for people that I found, and I'm the guy out here, licensed in all 50 states, and arguably the top agent out here. Most people that structure like a lifetime income guarantee or a joint lifetime income guarantee with their spouse or partner, they're doing it joint life with installment refund or joint life with cash refund. What that means is it's going to pay you for the rest of your life. But the installment refund, what that means is that's a period certain based on the exact to the day of your life expectancy. So in essence, not a penny is going to be kept by the annuity company under any circumstance. They're going to pay you for the rest of your life. And if you die early, whatever's left in the account is going to go 100% to the beneficiaries. Installment refund means it's in payment form, right? And then cash refund means lump sum. Thinking logically about annuity companies and them not giving it away, the installment refund, a quote, life with installment refund is going to pay higher than life with cash refund. Why? Because the annuity company continues to hold on to the money through the installment payment, even though they're going to pay it all back, as opposed to creating and having to come up with the lump sum. So laddering and the structuring of those quotes is very important. That's the reason a person like me exists on the planet, because I'm an expert at this. And I'll listen to you and fill in the gaps and put together the plan, contractually on exactly how you want the money to work. And then I'll go quote every carrier on the planet and find the best contractual guarantee out there. And you have to, when you go quote annuities, like if you get an income now quote or an income later quote from us, you're going to see at least 5 carriers. Typically on like an immediate annuity quote, you'll see 10. You'll see the top 10 carriers in order of the contractual guarantee, and we'll also list one of the ratings on there, and you can go to my site and pull up the Comdex rankings and see all 4 rating services, Standard & Poor's, Moody's, Fitch, and AM Best, and see all of them, and then the Comdex score from 1 to 100. So, never allow someone to just show you one annuity. I don't care what type. It doesn't matter what type. Never, ever, ever allow someone to just say, this is the best annuity for you. I've looked at it, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, and this is the best annuity for you. That's complete and utter garbage. It's steering into a product. It typically says to me that person hasn't done their homework and hasn't learned more than one product, or there's something more behind that from the standpoint of incentives or commissions or things like that. But in most cases, most agents and advisors just haven't done the homework to show you an income later quote, both DIAs or QLACs and riders. They're just showing one index annuity with a rider. Do not allow that, because remember, annuity quotes are like commodities, right? You have to quote them all, like buying a plane ticket. So if they just show you one, say, hey, that's fantastic, Fred, my advisor, but I need to see 5. And if he says, well, I don't have 5, then you've got your answer. Then he's not in the game of showing the best contractual guarantee quotes. He's just in the game of liking one carrier and going with it. And I know the carriers don't like it when I say that, because they all say, well, our product's better and we're shinier and we're nicer and we're smarter and we're whatever. But the truth of the matter is these products are all kind of the same when, with the types. So you got to quote them all. And also remember too, life expectancy drives the pricing train. When you're getting a lifetime income quote to fill in the guaranteed income floor, it's life expectancy, not interest rates. I know everyone's trying to time interest rates, and everybody, says, well, I'm going to wait on the interest rates to move. No, you can't. That's not smart. You look at the guarantee. If the guarantee makes sense, fine. If interest rates, went from the Treasury went up two percentage points, would it affect things? Yeah, it would move the needle a little bit, but the needle is truly moved by life expectancy. That's what drives the train with a lifetime income guarantee. So when you're creating a guaranteed income floor, if it's just on your life, the payment's going to be higher than if it's joint life with a spouse. And if your spouse is a female, then it's going to be lowered because she's projected to live longer than you as the male. And typically that's just the way it is. They outlive us. I think it's an evil plot, but it is what it is. So to conclude on all of this, and I know that creating a guaranteed income floor is somewhat a fuzzy target. It's like nailing Jell-O to the wall, because the guaranteed income floor this year might be different next year. And if it's different next year, then we address it with an immediate annuity type gap filler, but you're always filling the gap for income. Now, You can do guaranteed income floor planning to fill it right now, or you could say, I've projected in the future, we're going to need this, and you can do guaranteed income floor planning for the future. Either or works. Either or, we look at only the contractual guarantees, and you'll know to the penny what is contractually guaranteed by the carriers. But I encourage you, if you haven't done the calculations of, what's my basic expenses plus lifestyle enhancements that I need, what's that monthly number of income that I need, regardless of what happens in the political world or the economic world or the markets or whatever. What's that number? And then add up, the pension, the Social Security, the dividends, the real estate, and then what gap do you need to fill either right now or in the future? And then contact us and let us run a quote to fill that gap. And I think when you can fill that gap contractually, that's a good feeling, because everything else is gravy, right? You can invest your money. And I've always said this, I have a lot of clients that are big time traders. One of my clients is like a corn futures trader or something like that, just something out of this world. But what he does every year is he buys a lifetime income guarantee for the future to build the income floor, because guess what? His spouse could give a rip about the futures market. She does not care at all. And like with my wife, she loves Stan the Annuity Man, right? Why wouldn't you? I'm a lovable character, but she could give a rip about annuities. So, when I take her out for dinner at the end of the year and give her the state of the Stantra, right? The Stan the Annuity Man Stantra, I say, okay, when my Learjet hits the mountain, no, I do not have a Learjet, but it's a really good saying. When my Learjet hits the mountain, honey, here's what the income stream is going to be for the rest of your life. She smiles and says, that's fantastic. I can go see the girls, and hopefully by that time we have grandkids, I can go see the grandkids. That's all she cares about. And with a lot of spouses out there, with all you players out there that think you're Gordon Gekko trading the markets, that's fine. But you have to put the guaranteed income floor in place for you and your family. I've even put it in place for my wandering, ambiguity, lovely daughters who are 20 and 22. I put an income floor in place just in case they become, starving artists. I've bought DIAs for them, deferred income annuities, that's going to turn on in the future. So they're going to have a lifetime income stream that they can never outlive. So guaranteed income flooring, how about that? I'm an income floorer. I should drive like one of those panel vans with that, right? Guaranteed income flooring is very important. And annuities play a big time role in filling that floor. My advice to you is to do the basic calculation of what that income floor is that you need, and then let us quote to fill the gap and use as little money as humanly possible to fill that gap. So I hope this has been helpful. Please go to my site at theannuityman.com and get my 6 owner's manuals. And also I've written a book called The Annuity Stanifesto, which has been a bestseller for a long, long time in the annuity category. You'll like that as well. And get a quote. You can also go to theannuityman.blog. And there's tons more information there. So with that, my name is Stan the Annuity Man, and you've been listening to Fun with Annuities. See you next time. Thanks for listening to Fun with Annuities. Please hit the subscribe button and make sure to go to my site at theannuityman.com, where you can run your own SPIA, DIA, and QLAC quotes and see a live feed of the best MIGA fixed rates in the country, and even get indexed and income rider quotes as well. You can also sign up for my 6 annuity owner's manual books, and I'll ship them for free and under no obligation. I also encourage you to schedule a one-on-one call with me, Stan the Annuity Man, so we can have a full discussion of your specific situation. It will be the best brutally factual and truthful advice you will ever get, and that's one guarantee you should definitely take advantage of. So join me next time for the #1 annuity podcast on the planet, Fun with Annuities.